Begin in Balasana, child's pose. A comfortable position with the knees wide apart, the big toes touching, the hips sitting back on the heels and the arms extended. Start to deepen the breath, breathing in and out through the nose. Long, steady breaths. On your next exhale, round the upper back to come forward, bringing weight in the hands to a tabletop position. Inhale, arch the spine, gazing up. Exhale, sit the hips back to the heels, child's pose. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, round the upper back, tabletop position. Inhale to arch the spine, gaze up. Exhale, sit back to child's pose, rest the forehead. Take a deep breath in through the nose. On your exhale, round the upper back to come forward. Inhale, arch the spine and gaze up. Stay here this time, and as you exhale, curl the right hip towards the right shoulder. Inhale through center. Exhale, left hip towards left shoulder. And just wag your tail like a dog, warming up the spine. And on your next exhale, sit the hips all the way back toward the heels. Take a deep inhale here. On your exhale, round the spine, coming forward to tabletop. Then find a neutral spine, adjusting palms right under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Inhale to extend the right arm straight up to the sky. Open the chest. Take a deep breath in. On your next exhale, thread the right arm underneath the left arm, coming onto the outer right shoulder. Extend the left arm forward, fingertips to the floor, and gaze up underneath the left arm. Twisting the spine, rolling the left rib cage back. And then bring the left hand back in front of the face, press down into the palm. As you inhale, lift the right arm high. Exhale, right hand to the earth. Inhale, lift the left arm high, broaden the chest. Exhale, thread the left arm underneath the right, coming onto the outer left shoulder. Reach the right hand forward, fingertips to the floor to support you. Then spend a few breaths here, gazing up underneath the right arm, twisting the spine. Plant the right hand back in front of the face and press yourself up to a neutral tabletop position. Step the right foot back, ball of the foot to the floor, and begin to glide forward and back. Pressing the heel forward and back just to open up the back of the ankle, the calf. And then switch legs. Left foot steps back, gliding the heel forward and back. Return to a neutral tabletop position. Walk the hands slightly forward, about a hand's distance in front of the shoulders. And then curl the toes under, lift the hips high. Press the floor away strongly with the hands. If you feel the lower back rounding, you can bend the knees slightly. The body is making an inverted V shape, lifting the tailbone as high as you can, straight from heels of the hands to the hips. Begin to bend one knee at a time, pedaling out the feet, pressing the opposite heel down toward the floor. On your next inhale, lift up high onto the toes. Exhale, bend the knees down to the earth and rest in child's pose. On an inhale, come forward, arch the spine, gazing up, lift the tailbone high. Exhale, curl the toes under, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Press the floor away strongly with the hands. And on your next exhale, lower the knees back to the earth. Inhale, arch the spine to look up. Exhale, sit the hips back to the heels as you peel the toes back, child's pose. Inhale, bring the weight forward into the hand. Curl the toes under as you exhale, lift the hips high up and back, long straight spine and downward facing dog. Knees can be bent if you need. On your next exhale, lower both knees to the earth. Sit all the way back in child's pose, one long exhale. Inhale, rock weight forward into the hands. Look up. And exhale, bend the elbows, placing the pelvis on the floor, laying all the way down onto the belly. Hands under the shoulders, and inhale, lift up, hands hovering off the floor, toes pressed down into the earth. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, open the chest, strengthening the back, and then reach the hands back behind you. Interlace the fingers and press the knuckles back, opening the chest. Really shine the heart forward. On an exhale, lower down, hands by the chest. Inhale, press yourself back through tabletop, and exhale, lift the tailbone high, downward facing dog. Strong hands pushing into the earth. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, lower the knees down, peel the toes back, and sit back to child's pose. Inhale, rock weight forward into the hands, arch the spine, gaze up. Exhale, lower down onto the belly, bending the elbows straight back. Inhale, lift the hands up underneath the shoulders, hovering off the floor. It doesn't matter how high you go. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Stay up, reach the hands back, interlace the fingers one more time. Press the knuckles back, toes down into the floor, legs are strong. Lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Big breath in. Exhale, lower down. Plant the hands. Inhale, press up through tabletop. Curl the toes under and exhale to downward facing dog. Take a full deep breath here. Then slowly start to walk the feet forward towards the front of your mat until the feet come in between the hands. Relax the upper body. Hold opposite elbows. The knees can be bent a lot here so that the low back is long and relaxed. Just let the head hang heavy. And just gently let the weight of the upper body stretch out the hamstrings. And then release the elbows, bend the knees deeply, tuck the tailbone, and slowly roll up to stand, standing all the way up. With an inhale, sweep the arms high up overhead, palms touching. Exhale, open the palms, bend the knees slightly to dive forward. Inhale, lift up onto the fingertips, and exhale, plant the palms. Step the right foot back, lower the knee to the floor. Look up, drawing the heart through the arms. Keep the fingertips down for balance. Take a few breaths, pressing the tailbone forward and down towards the front heel. On an exhale, sit the hips back so they're right over the right knee. Walk the hands back so they're under the shoulders. Flexing the left toes back towards the shin, bowing over the left leg. If the hands don't reach the floor, you can use blocks or books under the hands to bring the floor up a little closer to you. With your next inhale, reach the left arm straight up toward the sky, broadening across the chest, gently twisting the body open. On an exhale, lower the hand back to the earth, bend into the front knee and walk the hands forward one more time. Turn the left toes out so the left hand comes inside the left foot. And start to sink the hips down towards the floor, keeping both feet pressing strongly into the earth so the pelvis is supported, just stretching out the hip joints. If it feels good, you can come down onto the elbows, get a little bit lower, bringing a deeper stretch into the left hip, but feel free to stay up on the palms. Wherever you are, lift the back knee for the last few breaths, pressing through the back heel. The back leg is really strong and straight. If you're not on the palms already, come back onto the palms. Plant the right hand right under the shoulder and inhale to lift the left arm high, taking a twisting lunge. Both feet strongly pressing into the earth. One more breath in, roll the left shoulder back. And as you exhale, plant the left hand down to the floor. Step the left foot back to meet the right, high plank pose. Exhale, place the knees on the earth and lower down to the belly. Hands under the shoulders. Inhale, press the floor away, lift the chest, cobra pose. Come up only as high as you can. No pain in the low back. The elbows stay bent, the heart is reaching forward, toes are reaching back. One more big breath in, lengthen the spine. Exhale, roll down onto the belly. Inhale, press yourself up through tabletop. Curl the toes under and then lift the tailbone high as you exhale, downward facing dog. Deepen the breath. Bend the knees if you need to keep the lower back long. one long straight line from the hands to the hips. Look forward between the thumbs and then step the right foot in between the hands. If the foot doesn't quite make it, don't worry, just hold the foot with the right hand and help it forward. Lower the back knee to the earth, keep the fingertips on the floor and reach the heart forward, pressing the tailbone forward and down towards the front heel. Opening up the front of the left hip, the left thigh. Stay here, breathing deeply. On your next exhale, press the hips back, straightening the front leg. Then walk the hands back for support so they're right under the shoulders. Flex the front foot, drawing the toes back toward the shin, reaching through the heel. And again, if you want the floor a little closer to you, feel free to use books or blocks or anything you have underneath the hands. Hinging forward from the hips, keeping the lower back long, reaching the heart forward. Gently stretching the back of the right leg. On your next inhale, reach the right arm high, opening the chest. Pressing the right hand back, drawing the right shoulder blade towards the middle of the back. One more inhale, broaden the collarbones apart. As you exhale, place the right hand to the floor and walk the hands forward, bending the front knee. Turn the right toes out, the right hand comes inside the right foot. Finding a deep hip opening lunge here. Again, you don't have to come super far forward. You just go as far as your body will allow. Always looking for that point that you feel sensation, maybe a little discomfort, but that you can keep the breath steady and even so that the body and mind stay calm. If you did on the first side, come on down to the elbows, bowing the head towards the earth, letting the upper body be soft. Keep both feet pressing actively into the floor. And for the last few breaths here, whether you're on the hands or the elbows, curl the back toes under, lift the back knee off the floor, and press back to the back heel. Breathe deeply, almost there. Come back up onto the hand. On an inhale, reach the right arm high, opening the chest, twisting lunge, pressing the left hand down into the floor, lifting the right fingertips a little bit higher. On an exhale, plant the right hand down inside the foot and step the foot back to high plank pose. Next exhale, lower the knees, lower all the way onto the belly. Hands under the shoulders, inhale, press up with no pain in the low back, elbows bent. Heart reaching forward. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale, roll down onto the belly. Inhale, press yourself up to hands and knees. Curl the toes under and exhale back into downward facing dog. Remember, the front half of the pose is the most important, bending the knees if you need to keep the back long. Begin to walk the feet forward until the feet come all the way in between the hands. On an inhale, lift up onto the fingertips, lengthen the spine. And exhale, long back, fold over the legs. Bending the knees if you need to keep the back long. On an inhale, reach out through the crown of the head, sweep the arms to the sides and stand all the way up. Exhale, hands down to the heart. With your next exhale, bend the knees, looking down to see the toes in front of the knees. And make sure the knees don't come past the toes. Sitting nice and low, squeeze the inner thighs together. Inhale, extend the arms overhead. If you can do it without bending the elbows, press the palms together. On your next exhale, lower the left hand to the outer right knee and open the right arm to the sky. Take a few deep breaths here, pressing gently back into the knee, opening the chest, reaching the right hand back. On an inhale, bring the right arm back to center, look down at the floor, and lift the left arm up to meet the right. Switching sides, right hand comes to the outside of the left knee. Inhale to open the left arm, reaching the fingertips for the sky. Gently pressing back into the knee to open the chest even more. Return to center by looking down, bringing the left hand in on an inhale, right hand up to meet it. Exhale, hands to the chest and sink down lower, bending the knees a lot till you're in a toe balance. And then sit all the way down. See if you can catch yourself on your seat. Sit down nice and slow, curling the belly in. Then walk the hands back so they're about 6 inches behind the hips. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. Keep the right foot strongly flexed to protect the knee. And gently press the right knee away from you. The closer the left foot is to the hips, the deeper the stretch. Keep lifting the heart, lengthening the spine. Again, just going to the point that you feel your edge, where you feel some sensation, but you can still stay relaxed with a deep, steady breath. Flex the foot, keep the foot active, gently press the knee away, lift out of the lower back, and then lean back to tuck the left foot beside the right hip, drawing the right knee in close to the chest. Step the right foot all the way onto the floor, sit up nice and tall. And without sitting on the left heel, press the right hip down towards the floor. Keep the left hand holding the knee, and as you inhale, reach the right arm straight back. A gentle twist using the core muscles. Draw the right shoulder back. Every inhale, sit up a little taller. Every exhale, draw the belly into twist. Returning to center. And then start to scoot the right foot back towards the left hip so that you stack knee on top of knee. You can sit up, lifting the hips a little to really puzzle piece the knees together. And then place the hands on the arches of the feet and sit up nice and tall. Again, the right foot doesn't have to be all the way back by the hip. You might have more of a figure four shape, that's okay. If the low back is rounding here, take the fingertips behind the hips and press down into the floor to help lift the rib cage away from the hips. Do your best to keep a long lower back. And if you can keep a long lower back, start to fold forward, either with the support of the hands pressing behind you, or walk the hands forward to round over the knees. Staying here for several deep breaths, just do your best. It doesn't matter exactly what shape the legs are in, as long as you're getting some sensation in the outer hips or the lower back, no pain in the knees, you're in a good place. Then slowly walk the hands back to sit up. Walk the hands all the way back behind you. Untangle the legs, step the feet out in front of you, and just rock the knees left to right. A little massage into the outer hips, releasing the hips and the low back. Again, if you feel pain in the knees here, you know to go a little less deeply on the second side. Cross the left ankle over the right knee, making a figure four shape. Pressing the hands into the floor as you lean back to lift the chest. Always thinking of a long lower spine. Keep the left foot flexed, toes drawing back toward the shin to protect the knee. And if you'd like to go a little deeper, step the right foot closer in toward the hips. If you go deeper, make sure you keep lifting out of the lower back, heart towards the shin, shin towards the heart, pressing the left knee away from the chest. Lean back, bending the elbows to tuck the right foot next to the left hip. Sit up nice and tall, stepping the left foot all the way to the floor and holding the upper left shin. Press the left hip down towards the earth. It doesn't have to touch, but make sure you're not sitting on the right heel. On an inhale, reach the left arm back, finding a twist with the core muscles, rolling the left side of the rib cage and the left shoulder back, reaching the left fingertips strongly back behind you. Keep the shoulders relaxed, spine long, sitting up tall. On an inhale, return to center, and then help the left foot back towards the right hip, stacking the knee on top of knee. And lifting your seat as you need to help the knees fit together, and then pressing the hands down into the arches of the feet. Again, if the back is rounding, reach the fingertips back behind you, press into the floor to lift the lower back and the chest. Do your best to create a hinge at the front of the hip joints. People are often tight in the outer hips, so don't worry if that's you. If it does feel good to go a little deeper, you can lean forward. Option to use the hands in any position that feels supportive. Behind you, on the feet, out in front of you. And just breathe deeply. Knowing that a lot of times the benefit to these poses comes after, so it might feel a little uncomfortable while you're in the pose, but stay with it. Use the exhale to release any tension or any strong sensation that you're feeling. One more deep breath here. And then slowly walk the hands back towards the hips. Walk them all the way back behind you to step the feet out to hips distance and rock the knees left to right. Releasing the hips, letting energy flow back into the legs. And then reach the arms forward. Lift the toes to eye height. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Open the front of the chest. To challenge yourself a little more, take the arms overhead. Keep holding whichever variation you chose. Keep squeezing the knees together, lifting the chest. Stay strong. And then interlace the hands and place them behind the head. Open the elbows out to the side. Keep the heart lifted. On an exhale, release. Cross the ankles, reach forward, rolling over the feet and stepping back to high plank pose. Take a deep breath in here. On your next exhale, lower the knees and come all the way onto the belly. Hands under the shoulders. Inhale, gently press up to cobra pose. Exhale, roll back down. Inhale, press the floor away. Lift the chest, toes reach back. Exhale, rolling down. Inhale, press the floor away to lift up. Lengthen the lower spine, heart forward. Exhale, roll down. This time, inhale, lift everything off the floor, feet and hands balancing on the pelvis. Locust pose. Keep reaching through the toes. One more inhale, lift everything up. Exhale to lower down. Fold the left arm parallel to the front of the mat, and then bend the right knee, reaching back to hold the right foot, gently drawing it towards the hip. You're supported on your left elbow. Keep drawing the right heel in. Doesn't matter how close it comes. Keep the right knee reaching back and down towards the back of your mat, just stretching out the front of the right thigh, the quadriceps muscles. Gently release the right foot, and then hold the outer edge of the ankle. Look forward, lift the left leg, and reach the left arm forward, pressing the right foot back and up into the hand. Half bow pose, Ardha Dhanurasana. Open the chest, keep lifting both feet up toward the sky. On an exhale, release down. Stack the hands, rest the forehead on the hand, and gently rock the hips from left to right. Give the lower back a break here, softening those muscles and breathing deeply into the belly, feeling the breath massage the belly into the floor. Preparing for the second side, come back up onto the elbows, turn the right forearm parallel to the front of the mat. Bend the left knee, reaching back with the left hand to draw the left foot in. And you could be at any point on this journey. It doesn't have to be super close to the hip. Keep reaching the left knee back and down towards the back of your mat. As long as you're feeling a stretch on the front of the left thigh and the left hip, you're doing it. Then hold the outer edge of the left ankle. On an inhale, lift the right foot, right arm, and press the left foot up and back into the hand. Balancing on the pelvis, you might rock a little with the breath, which is fine. Keep reaching back through the right toes, forward through the right fingertips. One more big breath in. Releasing down carefully on an exhale, resting the head on the hands and rocking the hips left to right. Relax the lower back. Walk the hands back by the sides of the ribs. On an inhale, press yourself up to the knees. Walk the knees together so they touch. Then rest the hips back on the heels, child's pose with the knees together. Gently rounding the lower back, releasing the back bending action. And then interlace the hands, pressing palms together, and draw the hands back so they're right between the shoulder blades. And finish up with some shoulder openers. Release the hands down and walk them back so you're sitting in a kneeling position. Make sure this is a comfortable position for you, getting a block to sit on if you need. And then reach the arms overhead, interlacing the hands behind the head and pressing the elbows back, leaning back to lift the heart. Exhale, round the spine, elbows touch. Inhale, open the elbows back, arch the spine, lift the chest, and exhale, rounding in. Keep going with your own breath. Inhale, open up. Exhale, curling in, touching the elbows. One more round. Inhale to expand, open, and hold. And then release the hands back behind you, interlacing the hands behind the tailbone, squeezing shoulder blades together, lifting the heart, open the front body. On your next exhale, release the hand. Drawing the right arm across the chest, hook the left elbow under the right arm, stretching the outside of the right shoulder. Just hold here for a few breaths. Take the right arm overhead, bending the elbow and holding the right elbow with the left hand, helping to draw the elbow towards the midline of the body. Release the left hand back and around. Maybe the fingertips touch. Maybe you interlock the hands. Or maybe you just reach the fingertips towards each other. So the fingertips could be quite far away. Don't worry. Just keep reaching the fingers together. Gently release the hands back through center. Cross the right elbow under the left. Drawing the left arm in. Stretching out the outside of the left shoulder. And then lift the left arm overhead, bending the elbow and holding the elbow in the right hand. Help to draw the left elbow towards the midline of the body, back behind the head. Leave the elbow there, then sweep the right arm down and around, aiming to touch the fingers or interlink the hands. And again, if the fingers are far apart, don't worry, just squeeze them towards each other, act like they could touch, keep reaching together. Gently release the arm, starting to windmill in the opposite direction. This time the fingers won't interlink, windmilling the hands out to the side and then bending the elbows, reaching the hands towards each other behind the back. Just keep going on your own at whatever pace is good for you. Warming up the shoulders, loosening the shoulder joints. The next time the arms pass through center, as you exhale, hug yourself, wrapping the arms around the front body, tucking the chin to the chest, hands to opposite shoulders. On an inhale, open the arms out to the side and then hug yourself the other way, opposite elbow on top, rounding the upper back, chin to chest. Inhale to open the arms out to the sides and then release them down, walking the hands forward. Coming back to a tabletop position, stretch the right knee out by stepping the foot back onto the floor and gliding forward and back. Switch sides. You've been kneeling for a while, so stretching out the backs of the knees, gliding over the toes, forward and back. Left knee comes back down, curl both toes under and then press the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Again here, pedaling out the feet, bending one knee at a time. As you pedal the feet here, just notice any differences in your body, how your body feels from the very beginning of this practice. The last few deep, full breaths, conscious breaths. And slowly begin to walk the hands back towards the feet, so you're at the back of your mat. Bend the knees. You might pedal the feet a couple more times here. Last few moments of stretching in your yoga practice. Walk the feet wide to the edges of the mat. One more chance to open the chest. Left hand under the heart. Inhale, right arm reaches high. The knees can stay bent. Rolling the right side of the rib cage up towards the sky. If it feels good, straighten the right leg. One more inhale, right shoulder back, broaden the chest. Exhale, right hand down to the floor. Bend both knees. Inhale, left arm reaches straight up. Rolling the left side of the rib cage and left shoulder back. If it feels good on this side, straighten the left leg, pressing the left hip back behind you. One more big breath in, broaden the collarbones, open the chest. Exhale, left hand down to the floor. Bend both knees, hold the backs of the ankles. Gently draw the crown of the head towards the earth, even if the knees stay bent. If the low back stays long, you can straighten the legs here. Deep breath into the belly. As you exhale, bend the knees deeply. Softening into the fold, releasing the ankles, and then rounding up through the spine. Standing all the way up, refreshed, ready to start your day or end your day, or wherever you are in your day. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope you enjoyed this practice. Namaste.